Matt, thank you for joining me today. We'll touch on both games to start. Firstly, MK Dons away and what a day it was. Early on in the season, of course, but all points are crucial. But in the bigger picture, that is a huge 3 points to gain, isn't it? Especially after the summer that they've had.
Yeah, it was I thought a really good performance. Showed a load of different sides to ourselves in that game. I thought for the first half, and probably for the first 55, 60 minutes, we were very good in possession, moved the ball well across the sides of the pitch, transitioned at decent times reasonably well. So I thought it was a really good performance. Then scored a good goal. And then I thought you saw the different side to them, where they really came out and tried to attack us at that moment. And what you saw from the group then at that stage was a different way of kind of defending the box and defending our space and all of that. And I thought that was just as kind of important as the in-possession stuff. So, and then I thought we grew into the final bits of the game again. So that was a really important game for us. It was a big game, a good game against a team that I fully expect to be right at the top of the league this season. So yeah, that was a good atmosphere. Listen, we've been there a few times now, and that was the first time I'd won there, and really pleased with being able to have that in front of the supporters was massive. So enjoyed that, and then on to Tuesday, different surroundings, but another away game, and we obviously wanted to get minutes into everybody in that game, which was really important. And there were some really good stories that came out of that game. Really good stories. Albert getting his 100th goal, which he's been threatening for a few weeks now, but getting that 100th one was really good. And obviously we had a few debutants in the team, and so that was really, really important. But the most important thing was getting minutes into everybody, and then the next game on that journey together. So that was really important. So yeah, both enjoyable games for different reasons. And yeah, really pleased with lots of what we saw. Can we keep working on other things that we didn't? That we want to work on and just keep building what we keep talking about. Is obviously it's a new squad together. Keep building on top of those layers, but two good games.
You mentioned Tuesday, and as you said, you couldn't really ask for much more of the academy debuts, Albert's 100th, and a debut goal from Kiki. And what do you think the key was to breaking down Shrewsbury on Tuesday?
Well, I thought that we obviously started the game really well. Then they came back into it really well, and they had some good spells of possession in that first half, especially. And I think we had to ride a little bit of a storm during that. There was a couple of important moments where we were able to get the group together and get a bit of conversation into us about how we kind of want to affect the game a bit better out of possession, which then helped, and then that carried on into the second half. And for us, it's just making sure we're on that front foot and ready to go and jump on any mistakes that happen, which happened with Albert's goal, and he was ready and alive to come alive for that moment, which was a really important part of the game. And then from that moment onwards, I think we really started to see who we wanted to be at that point. So that was really pleasing. So, but I think, listen, they're a good team. I thought it against. Watched their game against Accrington on the Saturday. I think they're a good team, and they'll have a decent season because they've got some good players, and the manager knows what he wants from them. So, and they pretty much played a fairly similar team to the one on Saturday. So we knew there was probably a little bit more continuity in that from their perspective. So from ours, it was new relationships. You saw that there was some, took a little bit of time to get those relationships going, but once we did, there were some really pleasing things.
As you said, Gilly Key got minutes. Rico Richards signed on deadline day, but we didn't sign him in time to obviously play in that game. But how have they both settled in since signing on deadline day?
Well, both well. Obviously for Jid, brilliant to be able to play. That was a really positive thing for him to be able to play and do well and come in and change the game a little bit and show that athleticism that he has. So that was really important. And then with Rico, obviously as you say, he wasn't able to play in that game on Tuesday, but listen, he's a player that I know has got really good quality. He's a player that I've known for a long time in around the area, and we know he'll bring a slightly different dimension to both our attacking play and our midfield play. So I'm looking forward to seeing him grow into it over the next coming, the few months ahead. And it's important for him that he sees, settles quickly in terms of how we want to play him. But another very good player and just adds another bit of quality to the squad.
As mentioned, just a little bit more on Rico Richards, you said how versatile he is, and you said in an interview that he can actually play as a more secondary striker as well. What can the fans expect to see from him this season, being so versatile?
He's very attack-minded midfield player who has occupied a 10 spot and also as a second striker spot because of that attack-minded nature that he plays with. So he's always looking to try and make something happen. And I think he's got really good quality with his left foot as well. So he brings a couple of different dimensions to the team that are just slightly different to what we have. So they're some of the things that he does. And he's had a fantastic couple of seasons in terms of being at Stockport in a promotion team, being at Port Vale in a promotion team. So he's got them experiences that might be crucial at some point further down the road. So the big thing for me is another player with real undoubted quality that's in the squad, and you can't have too many of them. And we have them with a few of the other guys as well. But looking forward to seeing how Rico just settles down and we start to really show his quality.
Just a quick check up on a couple of players. How are Priestley and JJ getting on? They both picked up minor injuries in the past 2 games, and obviously Mason Hancock had a surgery. How was he doing?
Yeah, Mason first. He had his surgery last week. He's got another meeting with the surgeon tomorrow, I believe. Right, yeah, tomorrow. So by all accounts, everything's gone well with that. Just check out his scar and check how the healing's going, and then he'll be back with us on Monday to kind of start the rehab process off for him. Priestley, he'll have a scan tomorrow, and we'll see how that looks from there. Early signs are it's not too serious, but we don't know, so we'll have to have a check on that. And Jamie's all right. He's just been nursing this. I don't even know what to say with it, but he's been nursing this bit of an overuse thing in his groin area, so should be okay. We'll just have to see how the next kind of 24 hours go with that. But we know Jamie more than most, and he'll be chomping at the bit to be involved.
And now our attention's turned to Chesterfield this weekend at home. A very strong side who sits second in the league currently, led by Paul Cook, who's done a brilliant job since he went in there. Obviously got him promoted from the National League. And I'm sure it'll be raring to put things right after suffering a heavy defeat in midweek. How are you planning on putting a stop to that?
Well, listen, they're a really good team. I know they're a fantastic team, in fact. Already, obviously, a high budget team in the division, and they've gone and strengthened again throughout the summer. And they'll be right up there this season because they've got a fantastic manager who's got a great style of play, and he's signed some further fantastic players that will come into that. So I know what a tough game it will be, and it's shown from how they've started the season, which is completely expected from my point of view, because I know what a fantastic squad that they've got. And listen, they're people that are holding the utmost regard. They're proper people, proper football people at that football club who I've got the utmost respect for. So look forward to seeing them all on Saturday. And we know what a tough game it will be. It will be that's the makings of a really good League Two game, one that we're going to have to be right on our mettle with, right up for it, and hopefully there's a big crowd and a really good atmosphere, because we're going to need every one of our supporters on Saturday against be a good team, a good game. We all want to be, and we want to be involved in these sorts of games.
And finally, a familiar face back at the Bescott too, Ryan Sturck, who joined the opposition in the summer. A player who you're well aware of his abilities and can control the midfield. Are you looking forward to that reunion?
Anytime I see Ryan, I look forward to it. He's a top bloke. I love him. He's a wonderful player and a wonderful person. So, look forward to seeing him then. And no surprises again. He's gone and started the season really well. So, top person. Look forward to seeing him anytime. We know it's going to be a really tough game because of people like Ryan and the other players that they have in that squad that, as I've said, they've recruited well, recruited strongly, and it's going to be a good game for us.
Matt, thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.